Hey guys, it's EpiPen, and before I dive into my video, I'm gonna hit on a couple points. My first point being, I've seen a lot of guides on YouTube on how to make money in Temtem. You see guides that say you can make 15k an hour or 8k an hour, and the biggest complaints I'm seeing is they don't show the data, they don't show the temps release, they don't show the profit, they don't show the total cost of the cards they spent during that 1 hour period. So that's why I'm here today to explain why my method is the most efficient. Notice the 60% catch ratio. So I went out for 1 hour and farmed. I caught 60 Temtems in 58 minutes and 52 seconds. And the only reason why I stopped is I used all my 99 cards. I don't go refill because that takes time. 99 cards cost 1,485 Pansuns. My reward here you can see on the screen that I released 60 and I got a reward of 10,383. If you subtract 1,485 from 10,383, you get a profit of 8,898, which is pretty damn good. Please note that I've spent almost 2 weeks perfecting this method. So when you guys try to go out and replicate this, I'm gonna give you the best information that I can, but there will be trial and error. RNG is a factor. How many shoe-ins you can capture matters. Okay? However, if you follow what I say in the video and put a little practice in, you will achieve these results. To give you a ballpark number, when I started out, I would yield anywhere from 8 to 9,000. Now, since I've been practicing for so long, I yield anywhere from about 9,000 to upwards of 11.8, and that's when I get a lot of shoeing spawns. A good way to keep track of your cards is when you're at the 30-minute mark. If you're at 50 cards, you're on track and doing it right. If you have more than 50 cards, you're doing even better. And the biggest difference is knowing when to use only Hypnosis with Kinu and knowing when to use Hypnosis with Kinu and Slime with Baba. But I will get into that later. Here is another example of a shorter grind. I released 22 Temtem in 20 minutes and 17 seconds of farming, and that yielded me 3,693 Pansuns. If you were able to keep this pace for a full hour, you would be on track to be bringing in a reward of over 11,000 Pansuns. Also, I'm doing my best to put out good, valuable information and content, and there will be more Temtem content on the way. If you like what you see here, please like and subscribe. The very first Temtem you're going to want to get is a Temtem called Babawa. He's over in the volcano map in the water right here. The reason why he's so important is he's water and nature. So you're going to be fighting Yukama and Wimplump and Shuin, and this makes it so you only take 25% damage instead of 50% damage or 100. Babawa also carries Sharp Leaf and Slime, which I'll get into later in the video. The second Temtem you're going to need to get is a Temtem called Kinu. He's also on the volcano map over here in this area. And what Kinu does is he has a trait that you can get that's called Benefactor, and that will heal not Kinu but his ally for 10% health every time he's hit. So Babawa with 500 SVs, it's not a perfect, but with 500 SVs in health, has roughly 220 health, and when he only takes 25% damage, that benefactor is healing him to full health almost every time. The only time that he's not healed to full is if you're fighting a Shuin that does Crystal Bite. But that's not a big deal because you get hit by something else and then it will heal you back to full. This eliminates the need to run back and heal or to take turns to heal, which improves your catch rate. Another thing that's super important is understanding the correct way to catch Temtem. So, I don't use 10 plus cards because they're so expensive, and the whole idea here is to make as much money as you can. But it's a lot easier to catch Temtem when they're under a status effect. So, Kinu has Hypnosis, which will put a Temtem to sleep, which helps improve catch rate. However, in this area, you'll still break temp cards even if the Yukama is slept. So, Babua has a status effect called Slime. This will slow the target speed for one turn and traps it, which may not sound like much, but when you combine Slime with Hypnosis, that's 2 status effects, and it increases your catch percentage. Our very first matchup is a single Wind Plump. I quickly hit Wrist on my Kino, and Sharp Leaf on my Babua, which is 6 FF. And then on my second turn, I hit 3 F, which is Hypnosis, and then 7 F to throw a temp card. Wind Plump is in red health, and he's easier to catch than a Yukama, so sometimes you get that first catch. And this is right around 30 seconds. Using your keyboard this way increases your actions per minute. Our next matchup is a single Yukama. My Babawa's Sharp Leaf hits harder than my Kinu's, so I hit 6 to pass Kino's turn, and I hit FF to instantly do Sharp Leaf with Babua. My following turn, I do Hypnosis and Slime because the Yukama's in yellow health, almost red. Typically you want it red, but that's okay. And then the following turn, I quickly hit 7F to throw 2 10 cards. It doesn't always catch on the first card, but oftentimes it will catch on the second, since Yukama is lower health and has 2 status effects. Typically the catch rate on this is anywhere from 50 seconds to a minute. Double Yukama, if done right, can range anywhere from a minute and 20 seconds to 2 minutes, but typically you're going to average 50 seconds a catch. With this matchup, I do Sharp Leaf with both Kino and Babua. Now both Yukamas are in red health. The next turn, I do Hypnosis and Slime on one Yukama because I want to ensure the catch. So my third turn, I throw 2 temp cards, and if it catches the first one the first time and the second one on the second card, that's great, and that improves your catch ratio. But that doesn't always happen. If you have to take an extra turn to capture, that's totally fine. All that means is it'll take a little bit longer. Against Double Wind Plump, you do the same thing. You do 2 Sharp Leafs in the start. You'll get him in red health. You can throw a temp card turn 2, immediately followed by Hypnosis. So if it fails, he'll be asleep, and if you succeed, you Hypnosis the second Wind Plump, which allows you to throw the next temp card that much faster. As you can see here, I was able to capture both of these Wind Plump, leave, find a new battle, and then stop my stopwatch in a minute and 19 seconds. With a Wind Plump Yukama matchup, you open with Sharp Leaf, And usually you want to catch the Wimplump first by Hypnosis and Slime, but if you're pushing for time and I was feeling confident, I used Hypnosis and Slime on the Yukama, so my first card would catch, and my second card would catch the Wimplump, and it did work here, which saved me time. However, if it didn't work here, I would have lost time, so that's a gamble. I completed this in about a minute and 25 seconds. Shoeing matchups can be difficult if they're with a Wimplump or Yukama, because my attack on my Babawa and Kinu is 97 and 92. My Sharp Leaf most of the time will kill the Shoeing, so I have to bring down the Shoeing's health another way. So I highly advise that you catch the Yukama or the Wimplump first, and then focus the Shoeing. Sometimes I can catch the Shoeing with Sleep and Slime in 2 cards or 1 card, but sometimes it takes 6 cards, so I don't really have good advice on how to speed that up. It's just hard to catch, but it's definitely worth it because the payoff is over 300. This round also took about 2 minutes, so a minute to catch. By using an analog stick and twirling it in a direction as fast as I can, I found I activate battles a lot faster than other methods. We're going to recap and I'll give you some tips and tricks to make sure you guys succeed. So first thing you got to do is get yourself a Babawa. When you're trying to capture, make sure you have lure. Max out his health TVs. Make sure his attack's around 97. And then put the rest of the TVs into special defense. That way when he's taking damage, he doesn't take as much damage. Then get yourself a Kinu. I decided to max out his speed because sometimes even though Hypnosis is a priority 1 move, he'll go before some Wimplumps do. Make sure he has that Benefactor trait, guys. And when you're trying to catch Temtem, make sure he has that 4-leaf clover as well. And once again, when you're trying to catch Wimplump, sometimes a Tem card by itself would be enough. But if it's not, always use Hypnosis. Sometimes you need Slime, but most of the time, a Hypnosis and a Tem card is all you're going to need. Yukuma, on the other hand, always use Sharp Leaf, always use Hypnosis and Slime in your turn 2. And if turn 2 doesn't catch it, then you can start just throwing out that first Tem card and backing up that with a Hypnosis in case it fails. Well guys, that's it for my video. If you liked it, I really appreciate it if you like and subscribe. Post a comment. If you have a better method, please let me know, especially if you can show proof of that method. Also, if you like this content, I have another video in my channel that's called How to Power Level 1 to 48, a fresh breed. You kill level 55s in 2 turns, hands down the fastest way to level. Be sure to check that out. And I'll see you guys in the next video.